Who really owns Wall Street? The hidden power behind the bull. The bronze charging bull of Wall Street is more than a sculpture. It is a symbol of unchecked financial power. Tourists flock to it, investors idolize it, and politicians fear it. But behind the symbol lies a deeper question. Who really owns Wall Street? The answer reveals a hidden architecture of financial power that dates back centuries and connects today's most powerful institutions to a small group of elite families and financial interests. The origins of Wall Street, a market built on power. Wall Street's roots trace back to the Dutch colonists of New Amsterdam, modern-day New York City, who built a literal wall in the 17th century to protect themselves from British and Native American threats. The street became a center for trade and speculation. But by the 19th century, Wall Street had transformed from a colonial trading post into the beating heart of global finance. After the Civil War, the rise of industrial tycoons, the so-called robber barons like J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, and Andrew Carnegie, laid the foundation for the modern corporate and banking system. These families weren't just rich. They began shaping national monetary policy, owning railroads, banks, and oil fields, and using Wall Street to funnel their wealth into global dominance. 2. The Federal Reserve, a private cartel in public clothing. Created in 1913 under the Federal Reserve Act, the Federal Reserve was sold to the public as a solution to banking crises. In reality, it consolidated financial power under the control of private banks, many of which were tied to the same elite families. Contrary to popular belief, the Federal Reserve is not fully public. It consists of 12 regional banks, many of which are owned by private member banks, which receive dividends on their shares. The Federal Reserve has the sole authority to print U.S. dollars, set interest rates, and regulate the money supply. Its creation was heavily influenced by banking magnates like Paul Warburg, linked to the Rothschild banking dynasty, and J.P. Morgan. The 1910 Jekyll Island meeting, a secret gathering of banking elites, laid the groundwork for the Fed's formation. Whoever controls the issuance of money controls the government. Mayer Amschel Rothschild. The Federal Reserve is the beating heart of Wall Street, providing cheap credit to banks, rescuing them in times of crisis, 2008, 2020, and enabling the endless expansion of speculative finance. 3. BlackRock, Vanguard, and the rise of corporate feudalism. Fast forward to the 21st century, and we find that ownership on Wall Street is highly concentrated in a few asset management companies. BlackRock, over $10 trillion AUM. Vanguard, over $8 trillion AUM. State Street, over $4 trillion AUM. These firms are not just managing portfolios. They are the largest shareholders in almost every major U.S. and European corporation, from Apple and Google to Pfizer and Lockheed Martin. Even more striking is that BlackRock and Vanguard own each other through cross-holdings and fund structures, creating a loop of control that is almost impossible to regulate or disrupt. These firms vote in boardrooms, influence corporate decisions, and shape entire industries, all without public scrutiny. This is corporate feudalism, a new form of control where shareholders are invisible, unelected, and more powerful than most governments. 4. The interlocking web, foundations, think tanks, and media. This concentrated financial power does not act alone. It is surrounded by a web of think tanks, Council on Foreign Relations, Brookings Institution. Foundations, Rockefeller Foundation, Gates Foundation. Media conglomerates, owned by companies under BlackRock/Vanguard portfolios. Global forums, World Economic Forum, Bilderberg Group. These institutions manufacture consensus, influence public policy, and create narratives that preserve elite financial interests. Wall Street is portrayed as the engine of prosperity, while its hidden hand remains invisible to the public. Foreign stakeholders and global complicity. Wall Street is also tied to foreign power structures. Saudi sovereign wealth funds hold large stakes in U.S. tech and real estate. Israeli lobbying groups like AIPAC have deep influence in Washington and in U.S. defense contractors listed on Wall Street. Chinese firms and the CCP own U.S. debt and invest in American companies, even as they maintain an ideological rivalry. Wall Street serves as a global hub for capital, and it is used by powerful nation-states and transnational elites alike. The ownership is not national. It is post-national, opaque, and strategically interconnected. 6. Crises as tools. From 2008 to COVID-19. Major crises, whether financial or biological, tend to benefit Wall Street and its owners. In the 2008 crisis, the U.S. government bailed out the banks while millions of citizens lost their homes. In 2020, COVID-19 lockdowns devastated small businesses but led to record profits for tech giants and asset managers. BlackRock was hired by the Federal Reserve to manage its own bailout. Wall Street made billions while Main Street collapsed. This isn't capitalism. It's engineered extraction, where crises are used to consolidate power and wealth. Conclusion: the bull and the illusion. The bull of Wall Street is a fitting idol, a modern golden calf. While the masses worship growth and profit, the true owners of Wall Street remain hidden behind legal veils, shell companies, and interlocking boards. They are ancient families with modern facades, asset managers who serve no nation, central bankers who print value from nothing, lobbyists and think tanks who shape reality. In the end, Wall Street is not a free market, but a ritual theater of power, staged to give the illusion of choice and prosperity, while the pyramid of control remains untouched.